Today, my wife and I are joined by our son, Ethan. He's 17 today, but when we made the move, he was 12 years old. So we'll get to hear his story. Ike, how you feeling, man?
Thank you guys for having me. It feels good to be here.
Awesome. Let's take it back to the beginning. Do you remember what you felt or how you felt when we told you that we were relocating to the Gambia?
I'll be honest, I didn't feel the greatest at the time.
What were your biggest concerns? What would you say were your biggest concerns or your biggest fears?
Well, the only concerns for someone that young would just be leaving friends, honestly. Leaving friends and change of scenery, afraid of change and stuff like that. I just didn't take it, really take it serious. Neither did I want to be a reason why we didn't make the move. So I just put my trust, but I think it ended up being good. I think it ended up being good.
Okay. How do you feel like we prepared you, or how did you prepare for the move?
Yeah, I prepared by just not thinking about it. Up until we actually moved, I just didn't think about it at all.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you think it would be temporary?
Yeah. Actually, I thought it was gonna be for like a couple years, maybe a year or two.
Yeah.
I didn't think it would work out. I'm not gonna lie, I was a doubter. I didn't think it would work out. I thought you guys would want to come back and stuff like that. But this is at first, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now it's okay. We're actually doing this, right? So I'm telling my friends, they couldn't even believe it, right? I'm doing an hour-long international calls. It's costing a lot of money. So I'm adjusting and stuff like that. Yeah, we pack up, we move. And it's like, damn, we're really here. We're actually here. It wasn't the greatest at first,
yeah.
but you got to give it time. And I feel like that's with every move, not just moving here. I feel like it's everywhere, but you got to give it time. Because at first glance, your brain is automatically fixated on the negatives of everything. So I feel like any child that will move here is not going to like it at first. But it's all about the long run. That's what it is with any move. But yeah, in the beginning, I'm fixated on the power going out. In the beginning, I'm fixated on the mosquitoes biting me. I'm fixated on the internet being terrible compared to what I had. I'm just looking at all the cons first, which is what
any human would do, even adults. We had those issues as well.
Exactly. So I'm looking at all the negative things at first. So no, I didn't like it at first. Probably for the first year, I would say.
Before we go deeper into what you didn't like, I want to ask your mom a little bit about how the kids adjusted those first couple of months.
It's interesting because people always ask me, even now, how are the kids liking it? And I always say that everybody likes home. Everybody, if you don't like home, we got to have a different conversation. And so for me, the question is, how long did it take the kids maybe to feel like this was home? And I don't necessarily ever ask the boys, even the first day, I never asked, are you guys liking it? Do you not like it? Because I never asked them that when we're in America. Because I assume that if you're at home with your family, you should like it if it's a safe environment, right? And so my focus wasn't on them liking it. Because if that was my focus, we would have packed and gone back. Is if you are working out with somebody and it's 30 minutes in the workout and it's their first workout, you're like, are you liking it? You're asking the wrong thing. Of course you're not going to like it. Who likes working out? So I had to stay very focused on the long term, not on short term, because I understood that, heck, was I liking it? You know what I mean? Right. So I understood that we're here for the long run, like he said. And so I didn't look at them to see, are they as happy as they were in America? Because I knew that wasn't even a realistic metrics to look at.
That's great. And going back to the things you didn't like, you mentioned the internet, obviously slower, power outages. I think in the beginning, we intentionally didn't buy a generator, right?
Yeah.
In my mind, I don't know if I ever verbalized that, but intentionally, I wanted the kids to adapt to the changes. I didn't want to come in immediately and then just provide a solution for every little problem that we had or we're going to face. I wanted them to get to a point where mentally they understood that this is not America, this is somewhere else. Outside of these negatives, you would also find something that you will love. And had we come in and bought a generator and gotten what was that thing? What's the satellite thing? Solar panels and things like that, it would have just made it seem like we're trying to replicate America all over again. So I think we bought a generator about 6 months in.
Yes.
And then I remember
because I was like, I can't. Now it's affecting my money. It's not going to work. Right, so it wasn't even because of the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's true.
So you had the power outages. Junior kept complaining about the dirt, the roads were dirty, the sand. Yeah. He had issues with the sand.
Yes.
He had so many issues with the sand. What are some of the other things that you felt like you didn't like, that you needed some adjustment to?
Yeah, the sand, sometimes the smell of the cows, and stuff like that. What else? Like I miss all the cereals and stuff like that.
Oh,
The,
the food
the
stuff.
food.
snacks, like the
Yeah.
fruit snacks and
The food.
The sugar.
yeah.
No, but we had it in the beginning because
Yeah.
we loaded up a 40
I
foot
said
container.
that's why I said especially before the container came.
The container didn't come right away. It was
That's
like a
that's
4-month
good
gap
point.
where
It took,
we didn't have any
it
of
took
our
a long
stuff.
time for the container to get
Yeah.
here because we had issues, and those are some of the things that we're going to talk about when we're actually addressing how to plan to relocate, because there will be things that would come up that you don't plan for. That's a topic for another day, but we had some delays with the container at the port in Houston, and it literally changed everything for us. But maybe we'll discuss that on another episode. But yeah, the food, and then your friends not being here and things like.
Things you were missing.
Friends.
You kept seeing like they were going to parties and birthdays, and you're like, oh my gosh,
Yes.
I'm missing out.
Seeing what I'm missing out on social media and stuff like that's pretty much it. And then yeah, I'm a
Am I-
gamer, so the internet not being good at first was definitely something I had to adjust to.
And we kept spending so much money on the internet because we didn't have a Gamtel at the time. Babe, so you were paying as you go. So we'll just buy data and then data
Yeah.
runs out
Yeah.
within 2 hours. And then we
Yeah.
got to, oh my God, we spent so much money on the internet when we first moved.
Yeah, when we first moved, we got the mobile data, which was a hotspot. So we started off with that. It took a long time for us to actually get the internet, which is the fiber optic service. And as soon as we got that, things really got better.
Oh, yeah,
'Cause
they-
even
yes.
even during power outages, we would still maintain the internet. So things got better with that.
How quickly,
No, go ahead.
how quickly before you made your first friend?
How quickly?
Yeah.
It took me. Everybody goes at their own pace. It took me. My first friend was like a couple months.
But you brought
Like my
people
first,
over here within 2 days.
Alfred and them came here. It was like a month.
It wasn't no month.
No, it was
48 hours you had people
no, it
here.
was not 48 hours.
How about that kid you met? Like you literally went walking the first day and you met this kid from America on the bicycle.
Yeah, that was within the first month.
It was a month?
Yeah, that was like a
Oh,
month.
wow. Okay, fell
With
short.
the uncle, because they were here when that happened.
Kika and them came
Like after
3
a month,
weeks,
right?
a month
That's what
max.
I said.
maybe a month later.
Yeah.
They were there. So
They were already here.
And there was
yeah, that's what I said.
I want to talk about that too, because not to take you guys off topic, but there was something about Cookie Can being here that really helped settle us in. It didn't feel like we were in an unknown area anymore because we had some familiarity. So someone from another place that knew us, that was here with us and helping us adjust to it. So that was really helpful. I'm glad you brought that up. But yeah, so first month you made your first friend. What are some of the other things that you felt helped you to adjust other than making friends? What are some of the maybe activities? I know you were into basketball. Talk about that a little bit.
Probably that helped me adjust. Just making sure that I stayed in contact with my friends helped me adjust. That helped me adjust. And then, yeah, playing basketball. Yeah, playing basketball helped me adjust as well. When I started playing basketball again, I would say, and then going out.
Because you were outside.
Yeah.
You were in these
You
streets.
liked the independence of just getting into your tent and
You were in
going
the
out.
streets of Senegambia.
Right?
Yeah, going out definitely. After I started going out, probably, I didn't really have a problem anymore.
Okay. Okay. How did you adjust to the language? You speak a little bit of, at least understand.
I try my best. I'm not a fluent speaker.
I think you speak the best Wolof
In this house, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know enough to where I could live here forever. Yeah, that's good. You just gotta listen to what they're saying. All you really need to know is how to get in the car, ask for food, say you're hungry,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
One of the things, and this is for you, Sandra, one of the things that I know we discussed was one of the things that helps kids to adapt to an environment is just to stay busy. So that was part of the strategy. We talked about what are some of the activities we'll get the kids engaged in. Because before we came here, Ethan, you were already playing basketball. You were on the basketball team. You played soccer. Noah was Noah in any
Karate.
activity?
I was doing karate.
The basic stuff. But we knew that activities would be something that would be very critical in helping them adjust to their new environment. So we got in touch with a trainer,
Yes.
OT.
Yes, we
Right.
got in touch with a trainer, and he will come 3 times a week. and do boxing and things like that. And that was really good.
That was really good. They
Yeah.
picked up on boxing,
Yeah.
and it was just amazing. And then when I took Ethan to traffic light for a basketball game at the time, I discovered they were playing basketball with a bunch of kids playing basketball. I remember the very first day we got there with the ball. Some kids were playing, and you were a little bit shy to get in the game. But when you got in the game and they tested you, like you had 2 buckets straight. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
You had 2 buckets straight, and then they were like, "Oh no, the kid can play." And then that was it for you. You want to talk a little bit about that experience playing basketball, and then eventually doing your own basketball tournament, right? So let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so basketball is my favorite sport. So that was really necessary. That really helped me a lot. Going and seeing that it's also other people's favorite sport here, because you would think of Africa as just like a soccer playing place or a football playing place, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, seeing that other kids were playing basketball really helped me adjust as well. Because, yeah, I remember, like you said, that day when I went, yeah, I was very happy. And seeing the talent that they have here, because it's actually a lot of talent. It's a lot of talent. Too much talent. And the fact that I just saw that they had no, like, when you talk to them, you get a sense that they feel like they have no way, like their life is just stuck.
No hope.
Exactly, no hope. Like their life is just stuck in Gambia when it comes to basketball. Like their hoop dreams start and end here. And I wanted to show them like, oh no, you guys can go pro, or somebody cares enough for you guys to be televised and stuff like that. So yeah, that's why I ended up wanting to do the tournament, and thankfully that was able to happen. So yeah, that's what the tournament was about, just showing them.
I would say that was one of my proudest moments with you. That's when I knew you were officially happy and you felt at home. When you came up with that idea of the tournament, I didn't take it seriously. First of all, I had no idea. You got that from, what's the YouTuber's name?
Destroying.
For context, guys, Ethan came up with an idea to put up a basketball tournament. One of the things we asked you to do was to come up with a plan, right? Come up with how you were going to fund it, because I wasn't about to put all my money on some basketball tournament to satisfy you and make you happy. I wanted to see how serious you were. And you took my phone, you reached out to all your aunties and uncles, and you literally funded your own basketball tournament. I don't want to tell your story. Is there more you want to tell the audience about that?
Yeah, I got the idea from Destroying. Shout out Destroying. And he does the same thing, but he does it with American football. So he'll go to random cities like Detroit or something, go to a random city and do one-on-ones in football for $10,000, and you'll see like everybody shows up. So I was like, okay, I can just do that here, but with basketball. Yeah, I called all my uncles and aunties, like he said, and thank God they sent enough money. We even got some fundraisers. We even met the mayor.
The mayor.
Met the
We
mayor.
even met one of the mayors in a big city here.
Yeah, the mayor heard about this and requested our audience.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
We got some great CEOs of certain companies and stuff like that also help raise money too as well. We got sponsors.
InnovaRex was a sponsor.
Yep, we got sponsors as well. Shout out InnovaRex and all the other sponsors as well. And they showed up. We had judges. We had a dunk contest.
Amazing.
The dunk contest was crazy.
Yeah.
We got to do it again.
Yeah.
I hope we do it again. But yeah, that was probably the funnest thing I've done while being here.
And all the kids were saying that's the best
Yeah.
thing that has happened to them in their basketball careers here in
Yes.
Gambia, because they don't get things like that. You know,
Exactly.
and I want to talk about what it took us to put that contest together. I think we planned for about 2 weeks, and then we started executing. It didn't cost us a lot of money. I think overall everything came up to about $2,000, right? Then was able to raise at least $1,200 by,
That's-
and then we covered the rest of it.
Yeah.
And then we got some sponsorships as well.
Yes.
But to see the impact.
Yes. And the number of
See
people
how-
that
the
showed
number
up.
of people. First prize got, I think, $300. The team got $300, and then the slam dunk contest winner got $100, and then everyone got something.
Yeah.
And it was a free event. It was just phenomenal to see
was
what
amazing.
$2,000 could do
Yeah.
to an entire community. And I think that to me was one of the biggest things. When you were talking about impact, that's one of the things I moved out here is I feel like I've impacted society a whole lot more in 4 years than I did my 25 years in the U.S. Not to say there's no good that's happening over there, but the cost of it,
Yeah.
and then to see how far it goes, it's just night and day.
Yes.
What do you think?
No, I agree. And it was incredible because part of the thing is that we homeschool, and I really loved watching him because it was about branding. He had to create an Instagram page for it. He had to thank his sponsors. He had responsibility to his sponsors that had to be fulfilled. He hosted the event like it was a whole production. I hope we have footage so we can insert it. But it was really incredible, and the type of, like you said, the type of impact. We haven't even talked about yet your TikTok channel and the fact that you are known in Gambia. Like, it's so funny to walk around and people are like, "Oh, you're Ethan's mom. You're Ethan."
So let's go to that. You eventually you started your own TikTok channel
Yeah,
and you started doing street interviews.
yeah, I did. So I just started doing public interviews, walk in the street and see somebody and ask, "Hey, do you want to do an interview?" And then they'll say, "Yeah." I try to keep my interviews more informative, not crazy or anything. And yeah, it blew up. People just liked it a lot.
You were getting 30,000 views,
Yeah,
50,000
yeah,
views. You have a video with
30,000.
100,000 views.
Yeah, it was picking up a lot of steam. But yeah, that's another thing I'm glad that I did. Also helped me adjust as well. Going in public, some people will be like, "Oh, they know me" and stuff like that. I'll never forget one time somebody actually asked. I've been asked for a picture 3 times. I've been asked for an autograph 1 time. Yes, I've been asked for an autograph before.
All right, Ike the man.
It's crazy.
Did you sign it?
Yeah, it was. I think it was somebody's arm or something.
Hey, oh, all right.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
And that's something that I wanted to touch on to the parents out there. A lot of times we're afraid of doing something because we think we are giving in to what the kids want, right? Most of these kids don't know what they want. I felt like our job was to set the stage, prepare the foundation, and then allow them to come in and be creative and figure themselves out. And in 4 years, the reason I say I'm so proud of my son, in 4 years, the things he's accomplished, talk about his TikTok channel, talk about the basketball tournament, now his rap career, started his own making music. The things he has pushed himself to do in the last 4 years, I doubt highly that you would have done all of these things in the US. Would you agree with that?
I agree. Yeah.
And I think sometimes when you don't sit and think about it, and that's why I always stress on appreciating the little things, right? Appreciating the little moments, just your grit, just being able to adapt, just being able to say, okay, I'm going to adjust to my new life, and then I'll start taking what's coming for me. I couldn't be more proud of you, man. So I just wanted to say that.
Aww.
Thank you.
Now, another thing you had to adjust to was homeschooling. You mentioned that earlier. You're not going to regular school anymore because one of the reasons we decided to homeschool, we didn't feel like the schools here provided or presented what we really needed for them as far as their educational growth. I just wasn't comfortable at the time. Now, there are some great schools here now, but the homeschooling is going so well, and my wife is doing such a great job with that I didn't feel like we needed to retransition. But talk about how that adjustment was like for you, because you came here from junior, didn't go to regular school, but you came here from regular school.
Yeah, the adjustment. Once I went to actual school, I definitely would have preferred homeschool. So
Say more.
The
What do you mean?
adjustment-
Once you went through regular school, you didn't go to regular
no,
school.
I said
here?
once I
Went
went
to the
once
school
I went
here.
and saw it. With my
Oh,
own
okay,
eyes,
you went to
yes.
show with your own eyes. We're like, nah, this ain't it.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah. And then you got to think about it. Like everything too was an upgrade. Like the lifestyle was an upgrade. The house was an upgrade. Everything was an upgrade. And then going to that school as well, especially at the age that I was 12, like going to that school. And then I'm just comparing it to my last school. Yeah, no, homeschool is definitely necessary. Definitely necessary. So yeah, I liked it. It's good. Sometimes though, sometimes I do sometimes think what would have been like if I did go to a real school though, but not here. So it's okay.
Nah,
Good
you're doing a
with
good
homeschool.
job with
I'm good with homeschool. Yeah.
homeschooling. Do you have any
Okay.
other questions?
I think I'm excited. What the parents want to know that are watching is, what is your perspective now? It's been, you talked about how you felt at first. Now you're 17. Next year, you're out college. And so now looking back as a young adult, what is your perspective? Should we have moved? Should we have not? Who do you think you would have been if you stayed? Who do you think you've become because you left? I think that's what people
Yeah,
want
I
to know.
think we definitely should have moved 1,000%. And if anybody's thinking about moving, I think they should move. I definitely feel like it made me more mature. I do think I would have been a worse or just more immature person if I would have stayed in America. And I'm just basing that off of just the crowd that I was in and looking at some of the old crowd now and looking at where certain people are now. I do think that this move was definitely necessary. Also seeing my brothers as well. Also bringing my grandmother along as well, seeing how happy she is as well. I do think this move was necessary. The fact that I still go back for the entire summer as well is also, I would say this, make sure that if you're moving here, make sure that America is still accessible. Because if we would have came here and I wouldn't have been able to go back to America, I probably would have been begging to go back and stuff like that. I probably wouldn't have liked it. The fact that America is still accessible and we still went there every year of high school for the summer, I think that as well made it a lot easier to adjust to where the move, I think it was a good move. And now being 17, looking back, would I have done it again? Yes. Like, if you guys ask me, would I want to move? Yeah, I would say, yeah, let's move.
One of the things for me with the move was identity. I wanted you guys to be able to know that you are African first, right? I wanted you to grow up in a space where there's no limit, where you're not labeled and you don't feel like, oh, I didn't want you to buy the African American narrative that the world has put on African American. That was a big thing for me, was identity. How do you feel when you go back, or how do you feel in terms of a person? Like when you think of yourself and your identity, now having been here, how do you, I don't know if it's too complex of a question, if it's something you ever think about. I feel like that's something parents think about, but I don't know if you ever even think about that.
When I go back, I just feel like an African American. No, I don't feel like an African American per se when I go back. I just feel like the African kid. But luckily, America, I'm really only friends with Africans as well. Majority of my friends are African too.
That's a great
so
point.
they can still relate to what, because they also travel to Africa sometimes. So yeah, when I go back, no, it's not something I think about. Just because, yeah.
Do you see Africa as a place that you could eventually live in, retire? Did you fall in love with, I think really that was my hope, is that you fall in love with Africa as an option, that it becomes, because I think for people that only know Africa through their parents' eyes and the story, oh, when I was a child, I walked 10,000 miles, and that's all they know of Africa, it's harder to even envision ever relocating, ever even investing in a place that you don't know. Do you feel like this has opened your eyes to the potential of Africa, to potentially ever maybe move? I know you're 17, but what are your thoughts on that?
That's something I probably only know when I get there. If I'm in my 20s, single, not married, or even when I maybe get married, no, I wouldn't move here. But maybe I'd bring my kids here for a year or something like that, probably for a year or two. But necessarily move, no, I don't think I would move here. Now, maybe when I'm older, that's something that I would just know when I get there. But as of right now, no, I wouldn't move here.
And I appreciate the honesty, Ethan.
Yeah.
And I think to take on that a little bit, I think for me personally, I don't even know that it's relevant. I think that it's important, but I didn't think about moving back to Africa,
Yeah.
and I grew up here until I was in my late 30s, right? So it takes time to even conceive that kind of idea, because America gives you everything. America presents everything to you on a platter. You understand what I mean? No one leaves because of lack. You know what I mean? It's a higher calling. I see this as a higher calling. There's something deeper that happens to a person that makes a decision to leave the United States and go back to a place that is less developed, more impoverished, or whatever narrative that's out there about this place. So I think what I do believe, though, that, and this is my prayer, this is my hope, what I do believe is that we're able to plant the seed that these kids needed in their minds. So when they do go back, which they will eventually, Ethan is already going to college, not to the US, and that's another topic, but when they do go back, there will come a time when it'll hit them and they'll say, wait a minute, I do have other options, right? I do have other places I can go to. I do have other things that I can do and to accomplish such and such goals. And when that time comes, it'll just happen, like it did for me, like it did for you, like it did for so many others that have done it in the past.
Yeah.
So it'll be difficult for him to decide
To know
whether
now.
he loves it that much at 17.
That is true.
And I don't want him to be here for the rest of his life. I want him to experience the world. I want him to be a well-traveled person. I want him to be a well-exposed person. And this last 5 years to me has provided exactly that. When he does go to Europe next year for college, that's another experience that he has to adjust to and adapt to. But I think he's well-equipped. And this was part of the lessons. This was part of the journey to equip him for what's coming ahead. So that's what I wanted to say to that. Yeah.
That's true.
I agree.
Have we covered everything?
Is there anything else? Are there questions and things that people sometimes ask you, parents and things that you want to cover and answer here as well? Frequently asked questions.
No, the most common question asked is why.
Oh, they ask you
Yeah,
too?
yeah. Even my friends, so I just ask why.
Okay.
That's probably the most common question, but you guys have covered the why part.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then it's funny too. Do you get I feel like people feel like you downgraded. And it's not an obvious thing, but it's subtle. So they'll be like, oh, let me just go buy you some shirts. I don't know if you pick up on that. And I always smile and laugh because I'm like, if they knew how your life is set up and the upgrade you got and how you live in Africa, do you ever get that sense that the image they have of your life is really not the life you're actually living?
You're blowing my cover. So I need yeah. Oh, you're blowing my cover. I can't speak on that.
You're blowing his rich kid cover. No, I think to that, I would say that I don't know that Ethan knew what poverty was growing up in Frisco, Texas.
That's true.
Right?
Right.
Because everyone next door was well-to-do.
That's true.
The difference is he's able to, I don't want to speak for you, but you're able to understand life a lot better. Because here, poverty is not separated, it's not divided, it's not secluded. It's literally next door. You walk outside your gate and you start seeing someone who is begging for something or someone who's doing this and someone who's going through that. But the difference is what you do get the sense of is that money is not what provides the happiness that people are looking for in life.
Right.
Everyone was rich next door next to you, but they never said hey, they never said hello, they never called you and say, hey, let's sit down and have a meal together. Here, even when they don't have, they are open, they are willing to share, right? They are willing to say, hey, come in and join us. You're welcome, and this and that. And then they don't carry that poverty or the stress they have as a badge of honor to say, oh, we are poor. They're very prideful. They're very people. And I think what that taught you guys was this is what the world really is, right? It's not separated. It's not the south side and the west side and the east side where everything is fine and then everything, it's a melting pot, right? So,
Yeah, I agree.
and to those who say that we're courageous, what I want to say is, how are we courageous? I think, if anything, we are just answering the call. Maybe we're weak. Maybe the courageous one is the one that stays in the place where they know how the story is going to end and they continue to stay. That's really the courage. Because if you can see danger 10 years ahead of you and you're not able to see it as danger, then you're the one that is courageous. I'm the weak one. I'm the one that says, you know what? 10 years from now, I'm not going to like my lifestyle in this country. 10 years from now, I'm not going to like where I am. I'm not going to like where my conditions around me is going to place me. So I'm going to retract my steps. I'm going to go back to a place where I feel like in another 10 years, I'll still be up and running and I'll still be building and I'll still be building a dream. That's the difference. This may not apply to everyone, but it applies to most. So that's the real courage.
That's amazing. Ethan, what are 3 lessons you feel Gambia taught you?
You guys just stole my biggest one. You just stole it.
What?
That's it.
Everything being together. And I feel like Gambia is just like a big family. You don't get that sense in a lot of communities in America, especially the ones that aren't like majority black areas as well. You don't really get that sense in those areas. Togetherness and stuff like that. A lot of people aren't that close with their neighbors like you would be here. So yeah, the sense of togetherness is one big lesson. Another one, like also you stole it as well, was how you can just walk outside and see people happy with so little as well. And sometimes when I would hear some people in America or some of my friends complain, it's, man, I don't want to invalidate their feelings, but it's like the people here that have way less don't even think about having some of those feelings. Sometimes I would wonder how do you don't even have a phone and you're just so happy with life. So being happy with less, that's probably the second one. And the third one, being more conserving stuff like saving battery, and that's a very important lesson. It's very important. You gotta save your battery.
I bet that's an important lesson for Noah Jr.
You
Knowing that nothing lasts forever.
Yes. Charging your stuff. Saving batteries, saving money, stuff like that. I feel like it taught me
That saving money one, it will take a long time for you to learn that one.
No, he's learning it. He knows that here he can do it for $1,300. When he's in America, he doesn't want to spend no 60, 70. Ethan does not play that.
No, the savings is it's a very big thing.
No, it's a big thing for he
Especially when
converts.
the cost of living is much lower here.
Yeah,
Much lower here.
yeah.
Not that much lower. But we'll talk
Well, that's
As a
another
kid,
video.
as a-
Comment below if you want to what we
if I
spend in a
wanna
month.
Go out and get food in America, and I want to order some food. That will cost me about $15 with the subscription.
That's true.
$15 gets my whole hair done. It gets me like $15. It's hard to use $15 in one day. If you're using $15 in one day here, it's like
You were out. You were
I don't
outside.
know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're spending $15 in a day here.
That's true.
$15 is you need that for
That's McDonald's.
2 gallons of gas. Yes, that's a whole McDonald's meal.
Yeah. I think he has made you
Yeah.
more, but you're right. I think that he has made you more value money conscious for sure. You don't play. And I love seeing you. One of my favorite things is I love seeing you argue price. But like you've learned to not take first price. Negotiation is king. You be like,
Negotiation, yeah.
I'm not paying $200 to just go to turntable.
Exactly.
Make it 100. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
That's awesome. For what it's worth, let me use this opportunity to say that I'm proud of you, man. I think you've shown extreme tenacity, growth, and just maturity. I'm really proud. I know I can be hard on you sometimes, but the lesson is always hidden in some of the things that we talk about. The journey is not over. We still struggle with some things, but I think that over time, it'll all make sense for you.
Yeah.
I just pray that you continue to mature, you continue to grow, and continue to accept experiences and be open to new things. Never, ever settle.
Thanks.
Never, ever believe that, oh, this is what's for me, and I'm just going to settle here. There's always a benefit of taking a step that you don't even know how it's going to end, okay? And always look at it like that. Always stay open-minded. Always be willing to learn new ways and how to do new things. And I think if you continue to do that, you will adapt to anything. There's no hardship that will impact you in this world that will make you freeze and shut down. And I think that if anything that this past 5 years have taught me is that you guys can really handle anything. And I also want to take the moment to appreciate my family back in the US, because this wouldn't be possible without you guys, without the support that you guys give us. It's very easy to say, oh, they go to America every summer. Where do they go? Where are they going when they go every summer, right? They're going to my sister's house. They're going to friends and family. They're constantly opening their doors, just giving us that opportunity to continue to chase whatever it is we're chasing. A lot of times it's easy to have courage when you have people who are willing to sit back and support you when you do fail, because we've had some setbacks, and it's always been the friends and the family that will step in and support us. So I cannot underestimate how powerful having that option is. So it truly takes a village, as they say in Africa. Did you want to say anything else before we close it out?
No, all I was going to say then is how proud are you of your dad and his YouTube channel? Because that happened when you weren't here.
Extremely proud. I couldn't believe it at first. So the fact that I'm sitting here right now and he's doing this I'm really proud, because this is something that he's been wanting to do for a long time. So
Thanks, man.
I'm glad that it's actually happening. Yeah.
Oh, look at my voice. Oh,
All right.
guys.
Thanks, everyone. Share. Smash that like button. That's what Junior says to say. Subscribe, share, comment. I hope we're able to address all your questions. We just wanted to do a follow-up on our previous conversation. Anytime you have any ideas, any questions, please comment, send me an email, and we'll be sure to tackle them. All right?
Feel free to bring me back, guys. I appreciate the invite.
Or to bring you back on the couch.
Okay, all right, we'll bring you back.
If you have more questions for Ethan, drop them in the comments. If you got enough, we'll bring him back.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.